Lost fire will rise behind those eyes. That house will rock. Lion boys down. Immortal fear. That voice so clear.
Good evening, creatures of the night. Nosphyrus here once again, back from my slumber to drink the blood dry from another vlog. After years, the time is finally ours once again. Once again, vampires are cool. This is because of the highly popular new series of books by author Stephanie Meyer. It all starts with the first book, Twilight. Twilight has now made it to theaters. It is kind of like a modern-day Romeo and Juliet. You know, sort of. This is probably one of the best examples yet to show what vampires are truly like.
There are those among us who are good, and those among us who are bad. We are just like any other group of people. Bella moves in with her father in the boring town at Forks.
Her life there proves to be just as boring as she would expect. That is, until she meets the Cullens. In particular, Edward. The Cullens are a mysterious family that seem to keep to themselves.
At first, Edward seems to take an instant dislike to Bella. Something she cannot understand since she has not even said a word to him. The strange thing is that thoughts about him begin to consume her.
Edward disappears for a few days, which only makes things seem stranger. Upon returning, Edward makes an effort to be cordial. He warns Bella repeatedly that she should stay away from him.
However, she is already too intrigued to heed his warnings. Edward wanted only to protect Bella, but finds he no longer has the strength to stay away. Bella is known for being very accident-prone.
This eventually results in Edward saving Bella's life. He stops a car from hitting her with his bare hands. Bella realizes there is something strange about him.
She later figures out that Edward is a vampire and everything makes so much sense. A romance begins to form between the two. However, Edward realizes that he must be very careful.
He and his family wish to live peacefully amongst the Myrtles. In order to do so, they must feed only on animal blood. They do not wish to be monsters. They do not wish to feed on humans.
What makes this difficult is that he thirsts for Bella like no other before. At the same time, though, he has fallen completely in love with her. Bella, too, has fallen completely in love with Edward.
They become inseparable. Through the interactions, Edward learns that he has a lot of constraint. They are able to be together at all times and he is able to control himself.
Pleased with the relationship and his control, Edward takes Bella to meet his family. They are very accepting of her. Well, most of them, anyway. She visits them during a baseball game.
This is when the true trouble begins. A group of 3 wild vampires hears them. They do not live by the same ethics that Carlisle and Esme have instilled in their family. These vampires feed on humans.
James is particularly dangerous, and unfortunately finds Bella very enticing. The others must find a way to protect Bella. The book is a definite misread that we recommend to all.
The movie is also great. I cannot miss in our eyes. I cannot wait to read the other books and see the other movies. I would say the biggest difference is that the movie is very fast-paced, whereas the book moves more slowly. It has more character and plot development. It would be up to your personal tastes as to what you like better. One thing I love about reading books is getting to cast whoever you want in the roles. When the book becomes a movie, it can be fun to see how well the movie matches the people you chose. As Edward, especially with his brooding and angry stares, I picture James Franco. I think it is kind of funny that Robert Pattinson does not look far off. As Bella, I picture Kat Dennings. Again, similar look to Chris and Stewart. I actually found it funny that a lot of my choices looked a lot like the actors that were actually chosen. As Carlisle, I pictured a younger Kiefer Sutherland. After all, he is no stranger to playing a vampire. Charlie, Bella's father, was a cop. I find myself almost always picturing cops in books as Christopher Meloni, best known as Detective Elliot Stabler. Anyway, we highly recommend both the books and the movie. And not just because we are vampires. Well, back in my more human form again to ask my creatures of the night to tune in next time. Beware. Take care. Because the freaks come out at night.